Okay, I'm going to do a quick demonstration of what I've found in the new ERL, which is where we look up IAMs and specifications in the world that I live in. I assume other people use it for other things. Let's see. So if we go to iowadot.gov/ERL, I go there a lot. You can tell my browser knows where I'm going to go. You'll see this new blue box here that says the new URL is live, and then the link to it. So we'll use that here in just a minute. The new system contains the governing version of URL, and then they were going to shut this version off a few days ago, 6 days ago now, a week ago now, and they extended it for another 6 months for those of you who didn't know there was a new URL site and aren't used to working with it yet. So they have updated the old URL site for another 6 months, but this 6 months between right now and I guess it will be April 16th of next year. On April 16th of next year, this site will no longer function. You won't even see it. So where here we're choosing to go into IMs or search or IMs and specs, however you're used to doing your thing, where this was before this was what you would get. I normally would just go into the IMs and into the index and then find what I was looking for, and click it, and I would be in that IM. So that's how I used it before. I also would go, like if I was in IM 209 or aggregate and decided I wanted to go to 409, I would highlight and change to 409 up at the top, and it would do that. I would also always look to see it said current if I'm looking for the most current version of that IM or spec. I would always coach people to look in that heading to make sure they're looking at current, because if I'm in Google and I type in, I don't know, IM 445, and usually put in Iowa DOT or Iowa, it would give me a list. And sometimes this one is current, but sometimes I would get an old one. Of course, it doesn't show up that for anything I try right now, but sometimes it would say archive and an old one. So I would always make sure that that said current. Just pointing that out because of the way it will work differently now. Okay, so that's the way it used to work. Now, if I go to the old URL page, I guess before I go to the new one, let me show you a couple other things. I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm just going to put in Iowa DOT. And it'll take me to the main page. And if I say A to Z index, and I hit E for URL, the link here will take you to the old site. So don't get confused. Even though the index is wrong, that will be broken in 6 months. If you go into A to Z index, and I think it's construction materials, or is it contracts? Or specifications? I bet it's specifications. If you go into S for specifications and click on specifications, and then go into current URL, it will take you to the new site. So our indexes are a little bit wacky still. So just remember, if it looks like this one, it's going to die inside of 6 months. So try and get used to the new one. So for the new one, I'm just going to click here. Wait, maybe I should read it. I'm going to click here. So, this is another thing I wanted to point out. So where before, if you type in iowadot.gov/URL, it would take you to where this old one that everybody knows and loves. Now it's URL.iowadot.gov. So very subtle difference. The URL is at the beginning instead of the end. So URL.iowadot.gov is the new one. And this is what the new page looks like. So it has these badges. I can click into IAMs or specs. Like I said, that's where I usually lib. Sometimes I get into standards, but usually I get that through Doc Express. So from here, you can do a search for any word you want. I was just looking for pea gravel stuff the other day, so I'll use that as an example. So if I search for pea gravel, it will then take me to this. I would call this the home page or whatever. It's the pages that you're going to see mostly, where the last one is just how to get into the different sections that you want to see. So here I searched for pea gravel in everything. I didn't filter it out by any of these. Like if I only want to see pea gravel in IMs, I can click that, and then there's only, it says 2 shown. So it's showing me the most current because library ERL lib is at the top. If I uncheck that, now it'll show me the current one and the archived one. So that's where the 2 came from. I don't know if back button works here or not. I uncheck. So these are across the top as the filters that you've selected. I'm going to uncheck the IMs here. And now I see all the rest of them where I could look in standard specs and IMs or construction manual, whatever. But in all, it found 16 documents here. And I can click into any of these hyperlinks and they'll take me to the documents. Now, one interesting thing about this hyperlink is like when I click it, I'm going to go into 50 or 2556 here. When I click it, it doesn't have that same URL at the top that you're used to with the spec number in it. So you can't just navigate directly to this. You have to go through the main page, do a search, find the thing, and go in here. Now, once you're in here, it will highlight all of you, whatever, all the terms that you searched on that it matches. It will highlight those and take you to it. All of the links should take you to the other specs or IMs or whatever, so you can navigate that the same way. The difference is where, like, this is 491.20. If I click, oh, that's a native link. Bad example. Let's just go into 4110 first. So it opens up 4110, and now there's a link to 409. I'm going to click that link. Notice here it doesn't have 409 in the top. It doesn't have that in the URL anywhere. So before, where I went from 209 to 409 with just a character change, I can't just do that up here. I can't make that work. So what I'd have to do is go back, close this screen here and do another search. But here, this one has 209 in it by happenstance. So you can, if it's in there, you can click on it and it'll open 209. So that's a little different in the URL that I'm used to. I don't know how everybody else uses it, but that is a big change for me. All right, so same thing with all the highlights. It shows you what has changed since the last revision, yada, yada, yada. Now, what revision is this? I can't look at the top and see current anymore, which is a big downside for me. You have to click on this little tag icon, which is metadata, and it will show you then the release date. So this one was released in April of 2024. We're currently in October 2024, so I don't know that this is the current one yet. I have to look in this where it says library, ERL lib or ERL library. And if it was the old one, it would say archive in there. So you have to look and see what library you're in. And since this is the normal library, it is the most current one, even though it's April. I hope that makes sense. Let's just go back. Why can't I go back? Oh, it opened this in a new window. So while I'm talking about that, you notice at the top, they used to have the IM number or the spec number in each tab. Now it just says welcome. So you kind of have to just take a stab at it and try and find which one you were in. I'm not doing any commentary while I'm doing this demo video, just demonstrating how it works. And so this opened in a new window. I'm going to close it to go back to 409 in this other tab. And I've completely forgot what I was going back to show. I think it was back at the search screen. Okay, so now I'm back to the first window and I have the back button. Oh, this will page through all of the results. That's right. So when I did that search, it came up with a list of 16 items. This will page through all 16 of those items and take you to that highlight. So that's pretty handy. If I want to go back to the search, I have to hit this X box, the box with the X in it here, and that'll take me back to that search. So this is my original search of all of the things with pea gravel in it. And then here, it's only showing me current stuff. Again, if I wanted to see everything, I uncheck the current, and then it shows me the library plus the archive library. So in this case, I think I was in 209 for the example I was showing. So here we have 209 Appendix C, 209 Appendix C, but this one is the archive. So it was an April release date. So was it 4110? 409. All right, so I'm going to X out the search. I'm going to just do a different one. I'm going to X out the search. And so this box up at the top here seems to search anywhere that that term is present. So if I went Baba, it's again the world I live in, right? This is not right. That's funny. I know that there's a lot of IMs that say it has to be Baba compliant. The case sensitive? No. Do I have other filters on? No. Well, my impression was, oh wait, maybe there's no other filters there. My impression that if it said it up here, anywhere in the document, it would show the document. But I know that in nearly every document that has iron and steel and a lot of construction materials, they have the word BABA in there. So let's just go. I'm kind of getting myself down a different path here, but these are all the things that should say Buy America somewhere in them. So if I click into the latest 411, not the archive, the regular library, 411, I'm going to look and see. Okay, it is Buy America spelled out, so maybe I'm just remembering that wrong. I thought it said BABA must be in compliance with BABA requirements or something. Maybe I'm wrong, so that would explain why I only found a few using BABA. Anyway, you get the idea. Up here is a global search and look for anywhere in the document, not just in the IM, but in anything. Well, I hit the bottom of the list here. I will point out that there is 106 results and it's only showing 1 to 50. You can just easily choose show me 500. You want to be a little careful with that because it takes longer the more results you show. But here now I can scroll down past the first 50 and I can see that Buy America is also in the general index of IMs and it's in section 1107 and supplemental spec. So that's, to me, that's handy to change that so you can just scroll through the list instead of having to page through the list. That's a little tip. Of course, normally we wouldn't want to see the archives. We just want to see the most current, and that's where we can use this filter here. And we can say show me current, which is the filter that is default. And that's where it comes up with this library here. So now I'm down to 58 results in just what's current. So you shouldn't see any duplicates from the archive in that. Another handy, excuse me, another handy thing you can do is go by release date. So if you needed to look up something, I think we were looking for something from 2022 earlier. So it's taking a long time because I have 500 search results turned on. So just keep that in mind. So if I wanted to say materials IMs and where was it? Release date 2022, I can do that. And it's just going to show me the ones from the archive that were released on whatever date that I chose. Alternatively, you could say, get rid of that filter. And instead of the release date, you could say, I want to see all the materials IMs. Oh, it already did that, sorry. So it's showing you the current and the library, and then you can sort by release date. So now everything starting at the top is the oldest, and I can scroll down to whatever date range I'm looking at and see what changed when. And you can sort any of these columns by the column heading. So if I want to sort it by who is the creator of it for the IM reasons, I can choose that. Now it's Jeff's all on top, followed by Kyle, followed by Laboob. And then the secondary sort will be the title. If I click in the title, it'll sort by title again. Really, it will. Okay, so now it's sorted by the IM number or the spec number if I get down far enough. Oh, I'm searching in IMs. Anyway, alphabetically here, if I click it again, it'll go backwards. So now it's searched backwards. And now if I click, I haven't tried this, but I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to do. If I click by creator, it's going to show all Jeff's stuff in reverse order by title. So, and then it changes to Kyle's stuff right here in reverse order by title. So it does it in the order in which you click stuff. Might be handy for some reason to do that, especially by date. Like if I wanted ordered by date and then by title, I could click it in the right order to make that happen. All right. Oh, I wanted to go back. Let me just clear everything. So where this will find those words anywhere within any of those documents, if you go down below to these filters here, and you can play with those, but the title is the most important one. So that's where you find like 4127. If I search by that, it's only going to come up with the 4127 stuff. And then it moves the tab at the top here over to facets where you can drill that down, but you can also put in multiple search criteria here. The facets are, I only want to see 4127 within the standard spec or whatever. So that's the way facet is a little bit different. Once you start sorting things by filters, then the facets group gets smaller. So if I take off that 4127 filter, I'm gonna need to change that back from 500. Oh my gosh. This is the point where your computer starts flying. Okay, so now we're back to 50 results here. I can go into here. Title is where I was at. So if I wanted IM 445, I would just put 445 in there. And then you can go back to filters. If I only want to see current, I click current and update results, and it should only show me the current ones. So yay, that works. Now, these check boxes here, this was actually kind of interesting. So I'm going to take off of the current now, and I'm going to go, so it lets me see that archive. So if I want to know what changed between October 2022 and October 2024 in IM 445, I can select those two, click on the kebab, and say view side by side. Now I can see both of them. So sometimes you don't catch the highlighted what changed part, like right here, but you can go back and you can look at these things side by side and go, well, I know that it used to say this, but I can't find that anywhere. So there's the testing section. So what did it say before? Precast products can't be shipped until products are minimum 3 days old and attain 28-day strength. Precast products can't be shipped until the products are minimum 3 days old and attain 28-day strength. It doesn't show me which is which. There we go. So 2022 is on the left, 2024 is on the right. So the only thing that changed is they unhighlighted it. Anyway, you can view them side by side, which I think is nice, or it could be nice. Now you see here, there's only two choices because I only had two checked. Why won't I take them back? Well, if you had multiples checked, then you could choose whatever you wanted on this side and whatever you wanted on that side. The silence is the commentary in my head about having to start over each time. Let's see. So what else did I want to show? Okay, so if I wanted to send these three things in an email for some reason, I could choose those, click the kebab, email results. That's one of the things I wanted to point out is that if you just do metadata, all it shows is like what the number is and when it was created or something like that. It doesn't give you a link or anything. If you click attach file, if you click attach file, then the HTML version of that file gets emailed along with the zip file. So you can put anybody's email in there you want, what the subject is. I wanted to point out that this came into my junk. It filtered it out as junk email. So just if you send it to somebody, make sure they know it's coming so they can check their junk email. And then you can also do the same thing with download results and print results, which I wouldn't encourage, but it's possible. Also, you can register. Currently, you can't do this, but they're about to get that fixed. You could register as a user, and that will save all your searches. You can create, what are they called? You might have to be in there to see them. Compilations or something, basically your own archive. If you're kind of in that role where you're using the same thing over and over again, so that would be handy if you were logged in. You get quite a few things if you're logged in that you can't do not logged in. Yeah, so download the results would just download that file to your computer where emails somebody else that file. Let's see what else. Side by side doesn't go into the junk email. So there's also and it's not showing up for me. It wasn't showing up earlier either. The link to Maple just takes you to the Maple website. It doesn't take you to those items on Maple. That's another thing about the register is this, you can't just log in with your single sign-on, mike.lawrence@iodot.gov.us, and then your normal password. You actually have to create your own account through the register button to make that work. And then just looking at my notes, I'm sorry. So they're working on a lot of these things. I've found lots of errors that don't work quite right. So they're working on putting together some kind of list where when you find an error, you can send it in so that it gets fixed. Please do that because in 6 months, this will be the only working copy, and we want it to work correctly. These were all broken links before. It looks like they've got them all fixed, so that's good. I was going to show you an example, but maybe I don't need to. Yep, it looks like those all work. But if for some reason you clicked on something and it didn't work, please make a note of what you clicked on, what page it was on, which link it was that didn't work. And soon they'll have a log site for you to send that in so that we can make sure everything works correctly. What was the other thing? Oh, phone. I'm not sure if I can do this or not. Let's see. Can't remember how you do it. Phone? No. Oh, there it is. So this is what this looks like on an iPhone SE, which is what I have for a work phone. And when I close it, I get this page. I am not sure what just happened there. Trying to show you what it looks like on the phone. Okay, is there? So the A to Z index is gone on the phone. That's interesting. Well, let me put it in here. ERL.iodot.gov. That's what it looks like on the phone. So they're working to get that fixed, but obviously it's borderline unusable right now. So if I click on IM, it's going to show me all of them. I can't even get over to the side to get to the place where you use the filters. And then this search box is that global search box. So that doesn't do me much good. Yeah, I can't get to those tabs. My point is simply that it is currently not workable on your phone. It does work on the iPad if you happen to have an iPad. You can put in the global search term. Just make sure you're not in the archive, you're in the regular one, and So it might work in a pinch, but it is not going to be friendly. Oh, so one of the other things I meant to say is to share one. You want to share it with somebody else. So I'm going back to the normal screen view, and if I'm in 445 and I want to share it, where I used to be able to say, I'm just making this up on the fly, satisfactory inspection of plant by district materials engineer. So let's say that I wanted to send somebody right to this sentence. Like it says in there that you have to call me, and they say, where does it say? If I go in here, I used to be able to right click and copy to highlight. That no longer works. So the best I can do now is go into share and copy link. It puts it on the clipboard, or open link in a new tab, which I don't want to do that because I'm already in it. So I can copy link. It says it's copied, and I can paste that link and go there, but I can't direct them to where I was. Is this where I was before? I don't see what I had highlight. Oh, there it is. So I can't send this to them highlighted like I could before. So that's a bummer. And the link that I sent is this link at the top. And as soon as this page gets updated, like in the next IM revision, that link will not be the same link. So if I send this to somebody on October 10th, and on October 17th, they open it up and it was updated on the 15th revision, it would not give them the most current version. So this is going to be more dynamic and less static in the future. So I know that they're working hard to revise some of these issues that are involved in this. We have 6 months to get it done. So anything that's affecting your workflow, please let them know. I know that not being able to copy, to a section here and send that to somebody is a big workflow change for me, where I used to, well, using the same example, except I can't find it again. Maybe this is a different, well, it's the same one. Right here. Okay. Where I used to be able to highlight that and go copy link. What did it just start working underneath me? Oh, interesting. I'm learning. So I opened that link up and I pasted it into a new tab, and now it lets me copy to that highlight. So now if I sent that to somebody, this is not a workable solution either, but you get the idea. If I copy that to somebody, then they can see, this is what I'm talking about right here. If you're in the Novation website and you do that, come on, that's not even going to the right place. If I'm in the Novation website and I right click here, that copy link to highlight does not work. So the reason that it did work is because I copied a link to my clipboard and then pasted it here. It opened it like that, and now I can copy link to highlight. No, sorry. Yeah, there. Now it works. So anyway, that's just a weirdity I didn't expect on this video. So essentially, you can't copy a link directly to the highlight without going through 4 more steps. So as I was saying before I got distracted, that that feature is something I use every single day, multiple times a day. When I'm writing an email, I'll say, you have to contact the district materials engineer for the inspection of the plant. And when I do that, I copy this, click the highlight, and then go over to my email and I go Control K to insert the link. So that sentence now has a link in the middle of it that the receiver can click it and go right here. Not only will that not work anymore, but even if it did, the link, like I said, would be wrong next time the IM was updated. So it's a vast difference in my workflow from day to day, and I assume that other people have other workflows that will be affected as well. Make sure within the next 6 months you document all those things that just don't work, um, or you can't find a workaround for, so that we can either develop training on them or get them fixed in the new system. I think that's about all I have. Good luck.